Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much all for being so numerous today for this event dedicated to the ongoing genocide in Gaza. We are honored today to host Gennaro Giudetti, a humanitarian worker from the United Nations, and Osama Abu Hussein, a Palestinian from Gaza, who, as he will share with us today, has been living in Berlin for the past 2 years, but is forced to leave soon due to a deportation order. Before we begin, this event has been organized by the association Le Balene Possono Volare, in the person of Mattia Grigolo, together with the journalists Cosimo Caridi and Ilaria Morani, and myself. As organizer, we would like to thank Roberta Aita for having realized the graphics of the flyer and the poster. And finally, and most importantly, let us all warmly thank Oblomov and Vincenzo Mazzotti, its owner, for hosting us today and allowing us to hold this event. So, Osama, let's begin with your situation, which I briefly mentioned. You've been living in Berlin for the past 2 years, but you are soon to leave because your visa as an asylum seeker has been, its renewal has been rejected. Could you please tell us a little bit more about this, about what has happened? Also about the broader condition and situation of Palestinians living in Berlin, and also how you see the German state responding to the ongoing genocide in Gaza.
Hi everyone, my name is Osama. I'm from Gaza. I came back to Germany in 2023 before the 7th of October with a few months. I asked here for asylum, but my asylum request was denied, and now I have a deportation order. I need to leave Germany soon. The problem for us as a Palestinian is that we were looking to Germany as a place of justice, a place of humanity, and we will find a better future here in Germany, because the situation in Gaza is very catastrophic and very bad. But when we arrived here, we were shocked with the system here. They are dealing with us not like normal human beings. They are dealing with us as a security problem or something else, because they consider themselves as a big ally of Israel. They are supporting Israel, diplomatic and military, and with everything they are supporting Israel. We don't have any problem with that, but we have a problem with not hearing our voices, not considering us as a human beings, and they are now denying our asylum requests as a Palestinians, not just for me. Many of my friends now also have a deportation orders. We need to leave Germany to anywhere. Just go back to the place you came from. It's not our problem, even if that place is inhuman or it's a place that you cannot live in. Right now, I'm here for about 2 years, and in March I will complete the 3rd year. I learned German. I made Weiterbildung here. And I'm trying to be integrated in the society here, but they don't look for this as a positive issue. They just want to deny our requests. Many of my friends now are presenting themselves not like a Palestinian. They are presenting themselves as a Lebanese or Syrian, just to have a different treatment from the state here in Germany, running from the situation, running from the deportation orders, and trying to get permanent or residence here in Germany. So I believe this situation needs to be changed, and the government here needs to deal with us as a normal human beings, to look at our asylum requests fairly, and trying to give us our rights to live as a normal humans.
Thank you. Gennaro, you work as a humanitarian worker from the United Nations, and you worked for 15 years in war and crisis zones. You spent 9 months in Gaza, but you recently received Israel as rejected your re-entry visa, so you are not allowed to get in anymore. Let us also not forget that since October 2023, foreign journalists are barred from entering the Strip. Could you please tell us more about what you witnessed during those months and how you see the situation in Gaza at the moment?
See, so first of all, thank you a lot to be here. It's a really very pleasure and honor to see a lot of people here, giving me really hope and energy to continue this, let's say, mission and struggle for me to go around to talk about what I've seen in Gaza. I'm an humanitarian operator. I'm 15 years, I was saying before, working in emergency context and conflict. So it's not my first mission, okay? I was been in Syria, Yemen, Congo, Central African Republic, in Ukraine, in Afghanistan. So I thought that what I was seeing in Afghanistan and Ukraine was be the worst in the history. But nothing like what I've seen before, let's say the 14 years before of Gaza, was not enough to prepare me to see and live or face what I've seen in Gaza. If there is a word for me for Gaza, is to understand Gaza is too much. It's too much for all the human beings that can be in Gaza or can enter in Gaza to afford what you can see in Gaza. It really is too much. No one human beings can exist and can afford this one, because the quantity of suffering, destruction, pain is really too much. You can't. You arrive at one point, and then the other one is just too much. It's like, when you put the water in the cup, when it's full, just more water is just falling down, it's just more. You cannot fill anymore the cup. It's like this. This is the pain and the suffer. You can arrive to the top, and then the other is just more. So after 2 days in Gaza, it's already you are full of pain and everything. You are just, let's say, it's like an anesthesia. You are just like resist, and that's it anymore. And if I can compare the 15 years of my experience in Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, all this conflict, nothing is comparing to Gaza. So altogether, you can't afford Gaza. It's really, Gaza is another world. It's another thing. You cannot compare, because it's really too much. I cannot enter anymore in Gaza because me, I was one of the few humanitarian international operator. I was working there with the United Nations. Now not anymore, because I take the decision to get out, to quit all this humanitarian, to talk, to complain what I've done. I'm one of the witness about the genocide in Gaza, okay? And this one, you have to take a choice, to continue with this career, you get out and to talk, because you can't talk inside the organization normally. But there is an ethical and moral, decision. Or you stay silent, you continue to do your career, or you get out and you talk, because you are one of the few international people. Because in Gaza there is just a Palestinian, Israeli military soldier, and let's say internationals, but humanitarian operator, because there is no press, no journalists, there is nothing about the people outside. So we are the only international. So, and they are the only that we can, let's say, answer to all the sentence about, the military of the propaganda of Israeli. Because the military propaganda Israeli, if there is a Palestinian to complain, they will not believe, because they just say you are from Hamas, And everybody says, okay, it's from Hamas, it's okay, they don't believe it. They are lie, or they legitimate the power of the voice of the Palestinian. So as we are international, I mean, they can say I belonging to Abbas, but then after a few minutes it's finished, this rhetoric and this history, because it's not true. I mean, I was there from United Nations. And then, but they are trying to put the discussion in everything in just like you are pro or against. No? In Italy they say pro-Pal, like pro-Palestinian. So you are Palestinian, so you are something like it says ultras. So you are pro against. They put everything in like this because then it's easy to discuss. Because like this is the problem, because what we are there to defend, to protect the civilian, the human rights, the international humanitarian law. But this thing is not comfortable. So because this is universal. But if you put the discussion in pro-Pal, it's much more easier to discuss. You know, to say I don't believe you. I'm not agreeing you. But I'm not pro-Pal because I was not pro-Haiti. I was not pro-Congo. I was not pro-Afghanistan when I was there. Why now you put me like in pro-Pal? Because it's easier for them. Okay, but you support Palestine, so you are pro-Pal. So I don't believe you. And it's easier for them to complain about you. I was there 9 months. So you know who is paying the highest price in Gaza of the genocide? Is the children. Look, what we have seen about Gaza, you know why I'm like, for us it's not easy to talk, to complain, to show you. Because what we have seen about Gaza is just a small part. This is nothing. What we have seen about Gaza, the destruction, the situation in social media, in newspaper, in television, is nothing, guys. It's just the 50% what we have seen about Gaza. The other 50% is too tough, it's too strong, too complicated, too difficult even for us to show you. Because it's too much, I was saying before, too much to tell you what I've seen. Okay, because this is the destruction, the suffering, it was a lot, really. Like looking at the dog, taking the dead body of the children, going behind the rubber and hit the children. It was a lot. I was working in the hospital, looking at the father or the family, the mother, taking part of head, part of arms, just to collect this part of his son or his daughter, putting in one body bag just to say, please collect this part. Of the young brother says, this is what remaining of my brother, but I want to keep with me. Just choose small pair of shoes with full of blood. A children of 6, 5, 7 years bringing just the small shoes. He said, look, where I have to go, I'm alone. Everybody's died on my family. I don't have nothing anymore. I have just these 2 shoes from my brother. I want to keep with me. So what you can see with these people, we had to stop the war, to say stop. It's too much for everybody. Where we are going? Where we are going as a human beings, as a European? Where we are going? Guys, because I was saying before, the highest price was paid by the children in Gaza, because more than 50% of the population in Gaza is children. In the history, we remain the genocide of the children. Because who is paying the highest price? You know even why? Let's try to understand. In Gaza, for me, it's not, the things that shocked me is just not only, let's say, it's the war, because it's not a war, but let's say it's like the war. No, it's the hate. Like the hate of the soldier, of the Israeli, let's say, military against the Palestinians. It's just not a word, okay? Because if you press the button and you drop a bomb, you just see a button. You don't see what is ahead of you. You just press the button. But when the sniper, I was talking before with another, let's say one lawyer, international lawyer, when a sniper, okay, see on the rifle, on the gun, look at children, 3, 4, 5 years, walking around on the street, and there is nothing about, it's not linked to Hamas, because 4 here, 3 here, is just a children. Okay, in Italy there was one Israeli supporter, whatever, says define children. What is children for you? He was right. He was really right. In his so ignorance, these people, he was right. What is children for you? For you is a children. For us, it's just a target. No one is civilian in Gaza. Everybody can be a target. Even the international. Look, my colleague was died, one colleague. Another lost 2 legs. So there is no civilian in Gaza. Everybody is under, they say we can neutralize. Even the word, they play very well with the word. Neutralize, explode. how can it possible to explode a building in Gaza? Why it was a gas? Why was it exploded? Someone was hitting the building. But they play on these things. Human shield. It's not a human shield, it's a children. Okay, but they play because like this, you can reduce the impact, of the things. Ride. No, it's not ride. After 2 years, there is no ride anymore. Okay, but they play like this. So this is even like they even try to convince us when they bomb a building in the night, because most of the bombing was in the night. Why? Because the buildings are full of people in the night, and they don't let the people sleeping. From midnight to 3 o'clock, you see the bomb real near to you is shaking even the buildings. So the people, they don't sleep because they have fear. This was to make the fear. Because I was saying, when you enter in Gaza, it looks like a laboratory. It's like a game, because it's another world, really. So the hate is because they try to understand. It is all the expertise of the European expertise. How you can give the highest impact of the suffering and the pain of the population. It's just not killing the people, even to increase the suffering and the pain. So when you have to hit the building in the night, the people don't have to sleep. They have to have a fear every day, every night. They don't have to sleep. In the night, when they was hitting this building, they try to convince us that these people dying, these children, is a collateral damage. Collateral damage. Because it's not the children. It's a collateral damage. There was a people inside, a target inside. So they play like this. There is a target inside, so they're bombing. So then, if there is even one Hamas, no, you are not allowed to destroy a building, even if there is one. So imagine here, there is one people connected to, I don't know, to the mafia in Berlin. So the government of Berlin hit this building because there is inside one. So guys, this is democracy. It's supposed not to be like this. So it's not possible. So we cannot accept. Okay, but we accept because we push this red line of the humanity of this line. We push always ahead. The beginning was the first hospital destroyed. It's not possible. We need to understand why, who. Now they destroyed 36 hospitals. Where we were after 36 hospitals, it was normal. They bombing all the schools. There is refugees inside. I can say is that people was just escaping in the children in the school, in the kindergarten. They was bombing everything. The 95% of the strip, 95, is destroyed. This is nothing even something that I cannot explain because it's not easy. There is nothing standing in Gaza. Everything is destroyed. Everything. They destroy even. There is even ecocide in Gaza. 98% of the land is not agricultural anymore. Even the land. They destroy everything, building, mosque, school, road. They pass with the big tank to destroy all the road. The sewage, la fogna. Sewage. They leave anything. So, coming back to the building, when they bombing the building in the night, they convince us, no, these children is a collateral damage because we didn't want to kill the children. It's just because they were there. Okay, but you're supposed not to hit a building if there is children. But we accept, as a European, we accept, no, okay, but there was some target, so it's okay. But when the sniper, okay, see the children 5 years old, 4 years old on the street without weapons, okay, just a children, and you see on the gun the children, and you shot on his head, on his chest, and you blow the chest. These children, they bring in the hospital, and the doctor make a report and everything. This is a war crime. This is over than the war, because you know very well this is not a soldier. This is not a target. By your hate, you see these children of 3 years old, 4 years old, and not human beings. You see, because they dehumanize the people. When you dehumanize the people, then it's very much more easier for you to hit and kill these people. Okay? And in Gaza, there is the highest number of children amputated. They don't let us, because I was working for entering humanitarian aid, they don't let us enter the prostheses. So the doctor used the plastic tube of hydraulic tube for the connection of the water to use, because you have to give a balance of the children, because they not let even enter the wheelchair. They not let enter even the stampelle. It's too technical, stampelle. Crutches. They don't let enter all this equipment because it says it's a dual use. It's a civil and military use. What hell you can use the wheelchair of a military use? You just throw against the soldier. But they do this excuse. So no prosthesis, no wheelchair. So how you can use? You can use just a plastic tube. So they used to afford. They don't let us enter the antidolorific, anti-pain. So the anesthesia. So the doctors are obliged to treat the children without anesthesia. The people dying, I didn't know about, because you can die even for too much pain. If you suffer too much because you are being under surgical treatment, you can die because it's too much the pain, you cannot afford. They don't let us enter the therapeutic milk, like 0-3 month milk. It's for the babies. What the hell is not for military? What the hell you can use this one for military? Why? Because they want to kill the youngest population, because it's the future of the Gaza Strip. So you have to now to destroy the future, because it's easier after. Okay? Look, there is one people says, if you say one times one lie, remaining one lie. If you are lie and you keep going to say the same things, the same lies, becoming truth. Okay, and this is true, because this is, there is no hunger in Gaza, there is no hunger in Gaza, there is no hunger in Gaza. People starting to believe, maybe there is no hunger. Look, the old people, 40 years old, 50 years old, they are not slim, they're okay. The hunger in Gaza, you can see for the children. You see if there is hunger or not in Gaza, the children. Because there is no therapeutic milk. There is no milk for the women. They don't provide milk anymore. There is no food. So they don't let us enter. It's called plumpy-nut. So it's a therapeutic food that you give when there is a malnutrition. A malnutrition is not an opinion. It's a scientific scale. There is a scientific scale from 0 to 5. Okay? It's very rare in the world we reach the number 5. 5 minutes, I'm finished. So it's very rare that you reach, I know that I talk too much, but it's okay. It's very rare that you reach the level 5 on this scale, because normally the humanitarian organization, when you reach the number 3 or 4, you intervene. Okay, you intervene and you reduce the peak of the malnutrition, because you can intervene and you can give a plumpy nut. This is like a nuts. So you can reduce to 4 to 3, 3 to 2, because when you reach the level 5, the damage that you receive inside the organs is permanent. You cannot come back anymore to level 4, level 3, because the damage inside is too much, because the children not grew up anymore. The organ inside, they don't develop. Okay, so it's very rare, and even very rare to reach the level 5 in the history. We reach, for example, in Biafra, Biafra area. So it's in Ethiopia recently, but it's very rare. So in Gaza, we reached the first time in the world, it was with human induction. So there was the human default. Normally it's the poor, the catastrophic natural, never happened because of the people. So it's one of the worst war crime in the war is the famine, the hunger, because the people dying very slowly, very slowly. My colleague, this is Gennaro, look, for us, the most thing more difficult was providing food to our children, because when I go back at home, there is an humiliation as a father or mother, go back at home and say to my children, look, we didn't eat since yesterday, we are not going to eat today, maybe tomorrow in the dinner, because they eat 2-3 times per week once. Me, I was lucky, I was eating once per day. Just a dinner. So no breakfast, no lunch. The beginning I was the coffee in the breakfast. Then there was no breakfast anymore at coffee. So me, I lost 8 kilos. So it's one of the worst war crime. And we accept, we continue to do our life in Europe. And this was what's happening in Gaza. And who was paying, I was told before, it was the children. So we cannot. So, and me as a civilian, Italian, European, and it says, where were the European Union, the effort to make 18 sanction packet for Russia and for Gaza, for Israel? Neither one. So what we are defending since now is not international human rights, human law. We are defending our privilege as a white, as a Western people, as European, is another things. And look, what is happening in Gaza, and I'm concluding the discussion, is a genocide, is in a real time. So everybody can see through the social, to the newspaper. You cannot to say anymore, we didn't know. As happened in the past, in the First World War, the Second World War, we didn't know. Now we know. We know what is gonna happen, what is happening every day in Gaza. And the future generation gonna ask me, or gonna ask all of you, guys, where you were when happening in Gaza? How you possible that you let happen in Gaza what is happening? And one sentence to this new next generation, we have to say, me, and even all of you that you are here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gennaro. Osama, you left Gaza shortly before October 7, 2023. Could you please share with us what life was like in Gaza before all this that Gennaro talked about?
Okay. To understand the situation in Gaza, we need to know that about 80% of the Gazan population is refugees who were forced to leave their homes during the wars of 1948 and 1967. So these refugees are living in 5 major camps distributed in Gaza. And let's say from the 2000, Gaza is suffering a very bad or very restricted blockade, air, land, and sea blockade during the second Intifada. And exactly from 2007, when Hamas took control of Gaza, it was a very strong siege around Gaza. People were not allowed to leave Gaza freely. The goods were controlled and banned from entering Gaza because of what Gennaro has said, that it is considered as a dual-used goods. The Gazan people are suffering from the polluted water. Around 97% of the water of Gaza is polluted and undrinkable. So the Gazan people are usually buying the filtered water. Gaza has suffered also from a war after war after war in 2008, 2012, 2014, 2021. Every day it was a daily thing that you hear bombing. Someone is killed. Maybe you lose your one of your family or friends or neighbors, something like that. For myself, I was about to be killed by bombing 3 or 4 times during my life in Gaza. I lost many of my family members during the last war, during the previous wars also. Many friends, many neighbors. Our home was destroyed. For me, let's talk about myself. I was ranked the first of my class in university. I have studied computer engineering. After my university, it was hard for me to find a job in Gaza. In a normal country, it will be easy for you to find a job, but for me, it was very hard. But I worked. After that, I started my own company. It was IT company. But my company lasted for only 1 year because it was destroyed. Our office was in a tower, and the tower was destroyed in 2014, including all my equipments and everything related to my company, and I lost everything. I lost my future. I tried to build myself again, but it was very hard because the job opportunities in Gaza is very rare and very competitive. It is very hard to anyone to get a job in Gaza, and I think that related to the UN records about the half of the young people of Gaza are considered unemployed. After that, in 2018 exactly, I left Gaza. I went to Greece. I lived there for 4 years. And in 2022, I went to Gaza again just to see my mother and my brothers. And during 2022, when I visited Gaza for a few days, I also lived bombing. It was, I think, against Jihad Islami, something like that. Many people were killed. I just want to mention that in every war, more than half of the people that were killed are children and women. And many of the killed persons are civilians, not military persons. This is very important because, as Gennaro had said, that when they see, let's say, as they considered him as a terrorist or Hamas member, a Jihad Islami member, they are killing all his family or all the people in the building that he stays in. And I think this is, no one can accept that because this will lead for a huge number of died civilians. But for Israel, it's normal. We can do it, and no one can punish us. The European countries are not taking actions against Israel. America is not taking actions against Israel, and this is encouraging Israel to kill more and more people. So I believe that the situation needs to be changed. My people needs to take their rights to live as a normal human beings, as a normal people, like any other country. We wish that, and I hope that someday we will get our freedom and we will live like any other nation. Thank you.
Thank you. Gennaro, my idea was to ask you originally what actually means on the ground to be a humanitarian, to like provide humanitarian assistance in a context where entire neighborhoods are destroyed, basic infrastructure are destroyed, hospitals, schools, basic supplies are not allowed to get in, so medications, food, electricity, fuel, potable water, even cash. You've partially already like answered to that in a sense. Of course, if you have anything to add, we will be very happy to hear. I also wanted to ask you, I was thinking while I was listening to you, how do you think, if you have an answer, how is it possible that we reach to this point? I mean, I know it's an answer. It's a kind of it may sound like a theoretical question, but I don't want to ask a theoretical question. Really, how is it conceivable that we reach to this level of hatred, as you earlier mentioned, because that's what we are talking about, and what do you think about this hatred? How shared it is in Israeli society?
So yes, I was even thinking before I was forget a few more things. So about even, let's say, like the women and the children, because really is more than 50% of the people, and even the soldier, the Israeli soldier says more than 85% of people died in Gaza are civilian. So even them, they say they don't care. So they just admit that just 15% was Hamas or whatever, but the 85% is civilian. They convince us that say, well, like when they say 60,000 people was died in Gaza, this is the physical body took it, because they don't let enter in Gaza, or there is, but they don't use the bulldozer. So when the building of a 7-8 floor is destroyed, okay, and collapse, so you can take with your hands just the last floor. So you can take physically the people, alive or not, just on the last floor. Because the floors down, imagine there is tons of cement, of block that you can't remove. Okay? So the people staying still there. So in some rubber, you can see on the wall of the rubber, don't forget, under this rubber, there is still my sister, my son, my daughter. This is the name. In the future, when you will take, please give a burial, like dignity for these people, because they are still there. These people are not counted, okay? And when you pass, even you can smell the smell of the death. Me, I was not used to see this smell, and this smell is too much that you puke, because it's really too strong to exist. So, and just only the soldier, the military soldier, Israeli, declared more than 220,000 people died. So, and there is a soldier, there is no interest to increase this number, like the police of the demonstration, they always say it's less. So it's the same. So imagine how many people are really died in Gaza. It's too much. Look, the children in Gaza, at the beginning of the war, they were asking to the organization, please give us pen, pencil to draft, to play a bit. In the coming month, the children in Gaza, they were asking clothes. There were no clothes to change. The winter is too cold, and they were wet with these clothes. In the last month, the children in Gaza were asking to die. To die, because they say this is too much our suffering. We can't afford anymore. We don't have our family, because most of these children were orphanage. They don't have father and mother anymore, and they are suffering of pain, as I told you, without arms, without legs. So they were just asking, please, let us to die. I want to reach my family. When the children, 6, 7, 8 years old, they have the lucidity to say, I want to die, the world is died. So we failure everybody. All the humanity is failure. Because these children was just not playing to ask to say like this. They were so conscient. So they were saying, please, let us to die. I don't want to say anymore here. So really, even our colleague, at the beginning, I can't understand. When they were talking, they says, no, my father was lucky, they died last year. I lost my brother, was lucky 3 months ago. At the beginning, he says, sorry, but I don't understand. You were talking about lucky and the people is died. And he said, look, Gennaro, you can't understand because you are not from here. And he says, the people here, everybody, we are just on the line not to die. So if it can be today, tomorrow, we are just gonna wait to die. So it's better to die before, and not, because if I'm gonna die today, I have 1 year more of suffering and pain. My father didn't see. He died in December 2023. He's lucky. He don't suffer the hungry. He don't suffer all the bombing in 2024 and 2025. So he's lucky. I will die now. So my life, there is no life. There is no future in Gaza. So die on 25, die on 23. It's better to die on 23. At least you don't take the 2 years of suffering. So when the people have this lucidity, they are so conscious. They say, look, we are going to die. So is another way to discuss with these people, because we got too much ahead, okay, on the situation in Gaza. About this dehumanization, because they play on this role. Look, they don't let us to enter in Gaza, even for women, like the wash kits. Wash kit is like a deodorant, sorbenti, pad, tampon. So why? Why they don't let us enter the tampon for women? What is the connection between tampon and dual use for military? It's for dehumanization. They don't let us enter the plastic bag for people died. And it was even not enough to cover all this dead body. So they use just blankets. So to work there, it was too complex because you were under the bombing like the other. There was nothing. Me, I lost my house. 21 July, they're bombing my house. They don't care. They say, stay at home. Don't worry. We know that you are there. Stay at home. After 1 hour, there was hit my windows and my door was blew up. There was smoke everywhere, fire. And they says, okay, let's get out. We take our colleague. We escape from our house. After a few hours, they arrive a missile. They bombing our first floor of the house. I lost everything. I just remained with one bag. There was just few clothes. And even I shared to my other colleague, because the other colleague was escaping him and them, and they lost completely everything. So we share underwear, we share everything, because there was just a few clothes that are remaining. So it was too complex because there was no a restaurant for us. We're gonna eat where they were eating. So I was just bringing food, because me, I was get out inside the Gaza each 6 weeks. 1 week I was outside. So this 1 week for me was to rest a bit and to take more food. So I was bringing the handbag full of food. So I was eating once per day in the dinner. It was rice, like the rice already done, the sauce tomato already prepared, and tuna. So rice, pasta, tuna, rice, and I was lucky. So imagine, because my colleague that was not eating, as I told you before, per days, 1-2 days. So in working under these circumstances, then even the communication, to to afford the emergency humanitarian needs in Gaza, you need at least 200-300 trucks, 200-300. If you let enter in Gaza 20-30 trucks every 3-4 days, it's not enough. It's not enough for all the people. So who gonna take these trucks is just the people that they know they're gonna risk to die, because the trucks pass, and behind the trucks there is let's say small hills. Behind all these hills there are all the snipers, all the tank and the drone ready to bomb the people that was gonna wait the trucks, and they kill. So they kill 100-150 people. The other exists and they take the food. Okay, but when they give 20 trucks, this is the communication. They say, look, we open the gate, we distribute the trucks, but these trucks is not enough, because we have to thinking about Israel close water, drinkable water. There is no drinkable water. They close electricity. So if you want to run a hospital, you need a generator. They don't let us enter the battery, the spare parts of generator. So every time you have to invent the solution. And so you need a fuel. They don't let us enter a fuel. Okay, so the generator cannot to run 24 hours in the hospital, just a few hours. So when you need the surgical treatment, you have to run to do the things because there is no fuel enough. And this fuel you even need for desalination plant. Desalination plant is for all the people. So I was drinking the same water to the others, because there is nothing, everything is destroyed. So it's too complex, because it is 20 trucks per day, not every day. Few parties medicine, few parties food, few parties fuel. So we have to share, okay? So when I enter 2 trucks of food, it's nothing. It's like me, every day you stay here, okay, blocking this in this room. Me, every day I came, I just give you 1 packet of biscuit and I left. Every day, 1 pack of biscuit. So you are too much people over 1 box, so who will gonna eat? Maybe the first is near to the box, or who is the strongest? So that can take it, the children, the women, the sick people are at home, who is still blocked in the hospital or in the wheelchair. They cannot to reach to take this food. So these people continue to die. For this reason, there was a war crime of famine in Gaza, because not all the people was taking this food. They said, no, but look, this is Hamas took it. They know that it's lie, they took it Hamas, not because me I want as an opinion, because the food in Gaza, all the humanitarian aid trucks, is an area in Rafah. You remember all eyes on Rafah, all eyes on Rafah. Everybody was sharing. Rafah doesn't exist anymore. It's just a rubber. They flattened. Rafah is flattened. In the new Google Maps, there is no anymore Rafah. Many of this city is finished, is flattened. Jabalia, you can't recognize. I was with my colleague living in Jabalia 40 years. He was lost. I can't recognize. There is nothing. There is no road. It's really, they destroy everything. Everything that can be destroyed, they destroy everything. So in Rafah, they took this area, they created like a buffer zone, humanitarian military zone, whatever they call, and this zone is under strictly control of Israel. So every people arrive there is 4 or 5 kilometers of rubber, there is nothing. So the drone know you very well where you are, because this drone, there are always 2 drones ahead of you. One is from the intelligence, one is military attack. So they can drop you a grenade, they can hit you shoot you with the 100 bullets, or they can just fall down and explode it, okay, this drone. And sometimes this drone is just managed by EA, intelligence artificial, so it's automatic. Neither there is a man or women filter, this guy is really human beings or whatever is civilian. No, just alone, by themselves. You look like Hamas, the drone hit you by automatically. So this is the situation. So the people go to do Rafah, they cannot to go if they have weapons, if they are Hamas, they know very well. So when they say, no, it's Hamas, take over the control of the trucks, they know very well it's not true. But for the international community is accepted. Because at the end, I was saying the prime minister in German, the Israel is doing the job for all of us that we don't are gonna do, so he's doing for us, and it's true. Because I was saying even our foreign ministry, the international law it's matter until one point. At the end, there are other interests because the European Union is the first trade with Israel. Okay, we trade with Israel. There is a lot of money and interest. So the international humanitarian law doesn't matter if there is this interest. So this is the situation in Gaza.
I still have a couple of questions, one each, but what time is it? Because I also want to let at least half an hour for the questions from the audience. So Mattia or Ilaria can... Sorry? 3:40. So there is still time for me to ask like one question each. So Osama, you mentioned to me that you don't hold specific political opinions on this. So I wanted to ask you if you can share with us, you've earlier already talked about what you wish for your land and your people and how you feel about all this waffling, talking, political talking in regards to your land, to Palestine.
First of all, we are not asking much for Gaza. We just, as a Palestinian, we are asking for stop bombing Gaza. This is our request. It is silly maybe for some people, but it's a fact that we want people to live. This is the first thing. The other thing is that I'm here not to support any political movement. I won't promote anyone. But I will speak as a natural Palestinian guy who ran away from the hell of Gaza to find a better life here in Europe. So we wish for Gaza peace. The first thing, peace. The second thing is the freedom to move outside Gaza, to learn or study abroad, to visit their relatives and go back to Gaza in peace. We want our freedom in the sea. The fishers shall go and fishing freely in the sea without being or afraid of being as a target for the warships. To be killed there in the sea. We want also the European countries, especially Germany, to treat us as a normal people, to learn from the history, from the Holocaust, and realize that each life matters. And the Palestinian life is like any other nationality life. We want our children to play, to live normally, for example, our children realize the kind of the plane by sound. They can realize if it's a drone, if it's Apache or helicopter, or if it's F-16, for example, before learning the names of the birds. We want our children to live normally. We want these people who committed the genocide against the civilians in Gaza to be punished, and I don't believe in the cycle of revenge. So we just want peace for everyone. We want everyone to have a normal life. In case if there's a solution for one state or two states, it doesn't matter. The matter is that we want our people to live normally, like any other people. This is our request. We want also Germany to change their political view against the Palestinians. We are not enemies to Germany. And opposite of that, my people in Gaza believe that there is justice and humanity in Germany. This is our idea in Gaza, and we want Germany to apply this here in Germany.
Thank you. My final question goes to you, Gennaro. Given the recent ceasefire in Gaza, with aid deliveries still limited, Israeli strikes still continuing, infrastructure destroyed, how do you see this ceasefire, and would you, in a sense, see it as consolidating the current reality of oppression, destruction, annexation, and genocide?
Yeah, look, at the beginning there was proposed us like a peace proposal, okay, a peace agreement. We are talking on television, I don't know now in German, but in Italy was a peace agreement, peace proposal every day. There was like an achievement, Nobel Prize and whatever. One day to another one, we wake up in the morning, in television they says a tregua, a pause. A pause. What a pause? It was a peace. Now it's a pause. It's different word. It's changing the meaning. But it's true. It's just a pause. By pause, it's just you can take it, you can remove it, you can bomb him, you can put the pause. This is what they are doing now. They're just removing the mediatic pressure that was under Gaza. Because too much people were talking, too much people on demonstration. Okay, now that not anymore, or not a lot, not like before. So they can keep continuing to doing what they are even doing in West Bank. Okay, destroying, killing, exiliation people. They just run away the people because they escape, because they attack, the bombing. They are continuing. They are still continuing. People dying in Gaza, but no one talk anymore. So they achieve the success. Because before there was every day in each newspaper, in each television, they were talking about Gaza. They were dying more people, so it was not good. So now they just reduce the level. They say it's a peace, there is an agreement. So the people thinking now it's okay, there is a peace, they live like in Switzerland and everything is okay. But they are keep continuing dying people and the bombing. Even yesterday the bombing, because they say, no, the people they approach, they go very near to the yellow line. There is no yellow line. There is no a tape on the land. There is no a paint. There is nothing on this yellow line. They're just thinking this is you are near to our soldiers. We will just kill you. And they were like 2 days ago. They killed 2 children. What is the connection to 2 children? No, there was for us there was a threat. A threat of what? 2 children with the jerry can. What is the threat of these children? So they play all these things, but now they are winning because no one talk anymore. Look in West Bank. There was an excuse of, before there was an excuse of, because they have still the hostage. Now there is no anymore hostage. In Gaza there is Hamas, so we do this with Hamas. In West Bank there is no Hamas. 1,000 people died even in West Bank. There is no Hamas there. The settler go in the I was living in this village, in a Tuani village, where there was no other land, the documentary that was winning the Nobel Prize, the Oscar Prize. And even part of this No Other Land, the documentary, I was there. I look like Palestinian, so you can't recognize me. But it's incredible, this documentary, how now is the situation. You can't, was done before the documentary. In the coming years, even the setup of the village is changing. The small outpost of settler now is a small town. So they built, every day they built, they confiscate land, build, confiscate building, confiscate the building. People coming from Argentina, from North America, from Poland, and says, God give me this land, so go out. Who are you? This is my land because God give you. You are Italian, you like to drink my blood, so go out. So they are really, and with these people, we are even talking as a European. European Union is talking these people. So they start this, no, you are anti-Semitic. It's not something about religion matter. So, and then who is anti-Semitic? Then everybody becoming anti-Semitic. The ECRC, the Red Cross, the UN, UNICEF, World Food Program, WHO, Médecins Sans Frontières, the previous Pope, everybody becoming anti-Semitic. What the hell? Now even the court. So the International Justice of Court, that is, before was the very important institution protecting against Russia about human rights because it was in the protection of Western country. Now that is attacking our ally, so it's not good. They put even sanction of the justice. What else? This is not a justice. This is our privilege that we are protecting. It's another things. So what is going to happen now? We have to continue to go on demonstrations, to stay on the street, guys, because otherwise, if they finish to talk, if we finish to talk, and look, me, for example, I'm always posting on social media what I was looking, what I was seeing. Now they just almost like censored me, they cancel me. So almost no one looking my post anymore. Because I was not, for them I was not good, so they just close. And as no one talk, it's just finish and put it out of the social media. So we need to continue to struggle, because now is the most difficult part of this situation, this struggle for Gaza and for West Bank.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Gennaro, and thank you, Osama. I would like to open the discussion to the audience. So if there's any question, please raise your hand and I'll come to you with a microphone. Otherwise.
But I think I can also without.
It's complicated.
So, Gennaro, I have one. Grazie. And to you, Osama, I work as social worker and I'm as a asylum procedure consultant. And I would like to give you my email address or telephone number, and then we can talk about it, because I would like to understand better. I don't know in which, if you claim against the rejection, if it was a normal one, a bad one, or a Dublin one. And I'm only a social worker, so I'm not a lawyer. I can't represent you against the court. But I think maybe we can do something. Thank you.
Thank you. I will reach you. For me, the deportation order is final. Now, I have received recently a paper or a post from the court saying that there is a new judge who is responsible for my file. And when I asked my lawyer, he told me that now we are trying to stop the deportation order itself, because when it comes, then the police will come to you and deport you, force you to leave Germany. I have a medical issue. I'm taking treatment right now, and I'm trying to get a report from my doctor about the whole situation of my disease and send it to the court. So I will send you all the information just to let you know. Thank you.
Col microfono meglio. Sì. Penso anch'io, abbiamo anche
Okay, I would just no. Hello. Yes. Okay, I was just saying. It's just a reflection. Sorry, because most of the people normally on the speech, this is, wow, you are a hero, you are a superhero. So thank you a lot for what you are doing. No, I'm not a hero, I'm not a superhero, for two main reasons. One is I don't want to be a superhero because all the superheroes died very young. You never seen one very old, so I don't want to be a superhero. The second thing, this is the most important thing, is if you're gonna say you are a hero because you are doing something, you are delegate to me the job, and it's not good. It's not possible, guys. Everybody have their small part of the responsibilities, okay? I do my job, I do my things, but even you have your things to do. And thinking about, like, for example, you can do the boycott. You can boycott the product coming from Israel, okay? When you are going to the pharmacy, you say, no, sorry, this product I don't want because I don't want to support. There are a lot of products. You can see the list. There are a lot. There is online, on social media. There is an app. I don't know here in German what you use about app. No, thank you, whatever. There are a lot. So you can you can use your power because the boycott is very strong. Look what's happening with the sponsorship of football team in Israel. They changed 5 in 2 years. It's too much. Normally, it's remaining for decades. And it's not changing because, I don't know, Adidas wake up in the morning and becoming a Propal. No, because when you lose more that you are gain with Israel, they say stop it. And they never tell you, Adidas, sorry, Propal, we make a mistake, we need your money, okay, we close the contract. No, they say, no, we don't stay anymore with Israel because whatever. They just convince you that it's not for humanitarian or war because they are losing. So, keep continue because it's the only weapons that we can have that we can use, and it's very strong and powerful. Don't underestimate this power, okay? And don't delegate to humanitarian operator because everybody of you have this important piece of cake that can do, okay?
I can see the hand there.
Thank you. You just made like some example of a financial kind of action that we can do to influence and affect the situation. And then you also mentioned to keep going to demonstrations. That is more on the political side, like how using instead of our political economical power to use our instead of the financial economical power to use the political power. I wanted to ask, like, do you think that there is anything else more than demonstrations that we can do politically to actually show our power or our will or collectivity? Or do you think that we are limited somehow?
Look, I don't know in Germany how it's working because, as you know, there is 3 main governments in Europe that are stopping.
It's European mostly.
Yeah. No, because there are like 3 main governments in Europe that are blocking and stopping even the, let's say, the European Union is Hungarian, German, and Italian. So we are here in this place, in this country that is one of the most blocking the things. The pressure is supposed to be on the main street, let's say, on the street, and even, let's say, in the small region, in the government. I don't know here how you can push and you can press, because if the small, let's say, the small city, the small province, the small region, pushing the government to change, to I don't know how you can be even independent as a region to boycott. For example, me, I'm coming from a region of Puglia. It was one of the first regions says we stop all the relation with Israel. Something of symbolic, because then it's not Puglia that is have relation directly with. But then after Puglia, starting Emilia Romagna, starting Umbria, starting Sardinia, because the politics following the population, they are all populistic. So if 50% plus 1 support these things, okay, so we support Gaza. But after tomorrow, they don't talk about Gaza, they don't care anymore. They're not talking about the principle of this. They're just people. So if everybody push on their own city, own region, the other will follow. And this thing is already going ahead, because you know how many millions of people going on the street to asking stop the genocide in Gaza. So we need to keep continue and to push our politics, our city, our government. It is not easy. I know even in Germany it's complicated, but we keep continue, because one city after one other, because always is the first to take the action is complicated and is the brave, you know, because the other will continue, will follow. So I know that it's not easy, it's complicated, but we need to continue to talk with the people, to sensibilize, because we are a lot. We feel alone, we feel we don't have power. No, we have. Look how many people we are today. We are a lot, okay? And if tomorrow we talk with other 5, 10 people, we can be more and more. So, but we need to keep struggle, because we have a choice to struggle and not struggle. The people there, they have no choice. Thank you.
Can I just say something? Regarding to your statement. For me and my family, I used when I was talking to my family during this war, and just to make sure that they are okay. Many times they are told me that Osama, we have seen demonstrations in Berlin. Wow, that's amazing. There is a lot of people are supporting us. They were very happy. You don't know how much this make them happy, and this how much this encourage them to live. As what Gennaro had said, many of the Gazan people are wishing dying were wishing dying during the war, because they were sick of running away from the bombing here and here and here and evacuating from here to here to here. They were wishing to die. They were suffering a lot. But when they see that there's people are supporting us, that this encouraging them to live, this encouraging them to go forward in their life. So please don't stop. Thank you very much for your support, for your continuous support. We appreciate that very much.
Yeah, like thank you. Like even if you said Gennaro not to say thank you, I will say thank you anyway. But I say thank you to you, as I say thank you to every people I always meet, like in demonstrations, and that are like actively fighting or showing like contempt for what is happening in Gaza. And I strongly believe as well that we still have to fight, and that a change will happen if we keep on doing it all together. So thank you. You already mentioned, like you introduced something about the question that I would have, and my question would be how people in Gaza nowadays are managing to get information of what is happening outside, and how much information they get, and because I know that like the telephone line or the internet is still controlled from Israel. So I would like to understand like how are like Gazan people nowadays manage to get information, and if they are seeing what is happening also outside of Gaza in rebellion or in contempt to Israel. And this would be the first question. And the second question would be also like that you talk about what was not allowed to enter Israel, but my question would be what was then allowed? Like, yeah. You, as a humanitarian.
Yeah, so I will start with the last question. So what was allowed was, imagine in Gaza Strip they put il tetto, come si dice, a limit of caloric level of food can enter. Let's say it's an example, I don't remember, it was like 3,000 calories. So if, like for example, mirtilli is much more higher, they cannot enter. So because there is a just, for example, now they don't let us enter, for example, chicken, meat, okay? They're just biscuits. Because they understand the biscuits, then it doesn't matter anymore. Before there was not biscuits because they want to put for children. Now they let us enter biscuits but not meat. So they play on these things because it's just for suffering, as I told you before. So there is a limit of, even before 7 October, there is a limit of cement entering because the construction in Gaza have to be controlled, even before 7 October. The food have to be controlled. They decide how much you have to eat per day. It's incredible. So with this limit, you just can enter, for example, beans, flowers, rice, oil, because just with these things you can reach, and even not a lot, because for example with the meat you can even do it, but they don't put even meat. So there is just a few things that can allow to enter, because they do it on purpose. It's not just because they want the people just eat the minimal that you can allow to eat to reply to be obliged of the international law and whatever. So you're obliged to provide the food. So I give you food, but the minimum food. So just rice and beans. That's it for all the day. Not needed all the day because they stop every time. So they just play on these things to, but for example, the antibiotics. Many of these antibiotics, they not let us to enter. They not let us enter tents. The people are now sleeping under the rain. So the antibiotic, what does it mean? Because inside antibiotic there is a percentage that go over of the 0.5, so you cannot use. So with this antibiotic cannot enter, the doctor are obliged to amputate it. Otherwise they will die, people with infection. So to avoid to die in infection, they amputated the legs or the arms of the people. So, but they know very well. They don't let us enter, for example, cancer drugs. What does it matter? Why this is connection with Hamas? Nothing. So most of the people, we do evacuation of the children, for example, because they cannot to be treated there. There is no pills. So they have to go outside to be evacuated in Europe, for example, to be treated by hospitals that they have these drugs, this medicine.
Yeah. For your question about how they reach or how to they know the news, there's some internet points in Gaza. And most of the Gazans go to these internet points, connect to the internet for 1 hour, 2 hours, and they pay for that. But normally in their homes or tents or where they are staying, there is no internet. So normally my brothers go to this internet point in 2 days, 3 days, and stay there for a couple of hours just to see the news, to talk with us, and that's all. So there is no internet, no phone lines. Everything was destroyed, but we still have some of these internet points.
Bye. You can even collect some questions.
Yeah, ich wollte nur warten.
I can do it even on without using my alphabet.
I think it's good that they're recording.
Okay. A question about the future, of course. What do you think?
Funziona?
Scusa, l'ho spento, l'ho spento.
Non c'è bisogno, guarda.
No, c'è bisogno della registrazione. Hello?
Okay, a question about the future, of course. How do you see the future? And do you can imagine a solution? Can you imagine a solution to stop this war that lasts since too many years? Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Other question, then we can collect.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you very much for your for today. I wanted to ask, you were talking about the hate of Israeli soldiers towards the Gazan people. So they are not just making a war, but they are giving extra sufferance and pain to the Gazan people. How do you think is this hate deep in Israeli society? Is there any hope that maybe if the political class is changing, maybe the approach from Israel towards Gaza is changing as well? How do you think the people in Israel, what do they think about this war? Thank you.
Question, the last.
Questions?
No, the last. Sorry.
Yeah, there's one there.
So first of all, thank you for organizing this. Really, it's a way also to be more connected, and because as everyone knows in Germany, it's quite restrictive. Wow. So, vabbè. So my question is, I know it might probably raise up a little bit of poo, probably, but since it's quite interesting because they always nominate us Hamas, 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 no? And the whole time I hear stories from, let's say, social media. I was following you, Gennaro, when you were in Gaza, and I was like, let's wait for the next story. Let's see how is he doing, you know? And so my question is, have you ever had, or from the humanitarian point of view, but also from the civil point of view, had the chance to see these bad guys that are basically nominated by everyone when they have to, let's say, excuse what Israel did, you know. I know it's but it's something that came up in my mind, and yeah.
Let's answer these three, and then we go ahead, because otherwise I will forget. Sorry, I have a short memory.
Yeah, no, but I took a note.
Okay, so let's. Allora, about Hamas, I will tell you from, let's say, expat prospection, okay? Because then it's different, the prospection. Allora, when we were there, okay, you have to know about Hamas. Okay, is the, let's say, is the government of the Strip. Okay, the Gaza Strip is the government. Okay, so there is a civil part of Hamas and the military part of Hamas. Okay, so the civil part is who is managing the Strip. For example, who is cleaning the Strip? The police, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Agriculture. It's like a country, you know, like the teachers. Okay. So all these people belonging to the, let's say, the government managed by Hamas, okay? Because they are not belonging to, let's say, the West Bank. No, they have their own ministry of everything. So we work with, let's say, Hamas, because Hamas is a civil part. So I never work with Hamas that you see on television with the green and weapons. But the police is Hamas, because it's the government. Then there is the military part, is who is, let's say, struggling or whatever against Israel with but even the military part, this is something, because this is what they were doing, and they did it well, the success. They will say Hamas, just says Hamas, you can accept everything. Like Hamas is on the air, so it's okay. So they just bombing whatever they want just to say Hamas. They never say the personification of Hamas. So 3-4 people, because you kill these people, is finished the war. Like Osama bin Laden, you kill this one, is finished. No, there was just Hamas in general. You never know who was there, but just know it was one of the leader of the Hamas. And then you killed. So and then you keep continue. So the military part of Hamas, for example, is just not Hamas. There is Hamas. There was a Bedouins, there was a Islamic Jihad, I don't know, like a group of Gaza City, the independent group of Khan Yunis. There were a lot, you know, of this group, let's say. All these people was collaborated with Hamas. For example, when there was a hostage release on agreement, for example, Hamas was saying, give us 3-4 days, because we need to know where there are other hostages. Because they are not only Hamas to have this hostage, okay? Look, even Trump, when he was doing a peace talk, he was saying, we can remove Hamas, it's okay, but not now, soon, we can't remove soon the police. Because they know that if you remove the administration system, the system will collapse. Me too. When they was trying to enter on my warehouse, trying to assault my warehouse, what I have to call? The Carabinieri? No, I have to call the police. Police is Hamas. So they came there, they just make it the things, because there is a fight between families. Someone have to coordinate and make it peace, I don't know. So it was very important. So we just collaborate with the civil part, okay? But the military part, then we don't know, because we can't enter on this, let's say, system as expat, okay?
Perhaps Osama
Yes.
wants, because it seems, if you want to say anything about
Hamas, as what Gennaro has said, that there's the part of the political part, and as I know that after about 2016, Hamas has isolated the government from the movement itself. So many people in the government, in the police section, or in the education or health ministries, are not allowed to work in the military branch of Hamas. This is as far as I know, but maybe they were working. We had to deal with these, with the government, with the ministry, with everything, with the police. So I think that Israel was considering everyone was working in this government is a Hamas, and he's a target, he and his family and everyone he knows. So that was catastrophic. Many people were dying because they were working in the Islamic University, which Israel is considering it as a Hamas education institution. while many people were studying there. My brothers have studied there, and he is now working with the government in Canada. So I think there is a point of view how we look to Hamas from my point of view, or Gennaro or other people. For me, I believe that it's impossible to remove Hamas from controlling Gaza right now, because the whole system will collapse, and everything will be destroyed. So they will need to build the system again from the beginning. So I think that Hamas should leave the power by a decision from Hamas itself, not forcing it to go away.
Thank you. Just
It was not a pizzini, it's
Yeah.
just because we have to
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, it's 4:15 now, so we have 15 minutes. The other two questions were one about the future, how you two see the future of all this, like is there an end to this oppression, genocide, and so on? And also the very interesting question about the hatred in Israeli society, how related it is to the current government or not, if I'm paraphrasing
Yes.
correctly, and yeah.
Okay, so I will start with the hated and even the future. And then I give to you the floor. So the hated, look, this is the problem that there is even like a writer Anna Fua, no? The suicides of the Israeli society, no? Because they are collapsing as a society. Because there was like un sondaggio.
Survey.
Okay, you know. Anyway, so you know Italian, so I can talk in Italian. No, anyway, so no, I'm just joking. So like the 85% of the Israeli population was agreed to kill children in Gaza, to rape children in Gaza. So even if you arrive at this number of the percentage, something is wrong in this society. But this is normal. There was some Israeli activists that I knew in Palestinian and Israel. They were there. They was even supporting Palestinian community. They always say, look, Gennaro, when we grew up, we go in the school, in the kindergarten, first school, second school. In all the school, already we have the school is divided. Is not mixed. So already I have a school different, okay? Because there are in Hebrew school, just for Hebrew people or whatever. And then they teach us since the beginning, this is the enemy. The Palestinian is the enemy. We suffered the Holocaust. This is the Palestinian is the enemy. But it's not Palestinian that caused the Holocaust, but this is another details. And then, so if you grew up until 18 years old, all the school is, this is the enemy, this is the enemy. And you put you in the, like a Russia is the same way to in a existence. So if you don't struggle, if you don't kill your enemy, you will die, and even the society will be cancelled. If you put in sense of existence, everybody will struggle and fight even more, because or him or you, one have to survive. So when you have 18 years old and your first time you take a weapons and you don't see a Palestinian as a Palestinian, already they call Arabs. Already, because you don't recognize a Palestinian and you don't see him as a human being. For you, it's much more easier to kill, because you have 18 years old of teaching you to kill your enemy, take your rifle, take your weapons, you just kill whatever you want, because even the justice. Look, the settler, they kill without any reason, the Palestinian was even in Al Jazeera and whatever. I know him. I was one here living in the West Bank with them in Hum al Khair. This is a Palestinian village. They kill him without any reason. He was a humanitarian activist. They kill. After 2 weeks, the settler was out of the prison. If there is no justice, all this peace is just smoke on highs. Because without justice, there is no one peace proposal can be sustainable. And look, one important thing of the peace talk that in the history, in every war that happened, is one part, this is not a small detail, that always they put on the table. Already they have to put on the table even Palestinian people, not all European. Tony Blair already coming back. Again, Tony Blair. It's not enough for Iraq, again. So, and US, they don't never invite on this table Palestinian, and then they never talk about accountability. This is one important word in all the world that is important. who make a mistake in this war, me, you, okay, you have to pay. Sorry, but this is the things. So in every war, there is accountability to put in jail or in the court people is making mistake. Here, the government, there was no accountability on this peace talk. So these things, we will never be at peace without a justice. Okay, so this hate of the society, look now, no one is going down on the street in Israel anymore because they take the hostage, they take a finish, masalama, ciao, ciao, finish. So there was just for their interest, not for the peace. There are a small part of the society in Israel, but it's very, very small, and even is threatened by them. This part of this, some of these people that I know, they are looking house in Italy because they want to escape. Because in Italy, in Israel, they are threatened.
I will talk about the hate and the future. I believe that there is a hate or a cycle of hate and violence between the Palestinian and the Israeli people. Who started this? This was started in 1948 by Israel, continued that in 1976, and in the first intifada, second intifada, the wars in Gaza until now. So I believe that this cycle won't end because the children who lost their families right now, tomorrow or in the future, they will become fighters and they will fight back, asking for revenge. So the solution is a real peace process to be between the Palestine and Israel, find a solution, give the Palestinians their freedom, their country, and force Israel to commit to this deal. As what Gennaro had said, that right now they call it a ceasefire, but there is no ceasefire. Every day people are dying in Gaza right now. The humanity aids are not entering Gaza. There is no electricity, no water. People are living in the streets in the cold and under the rain. So I think that Israel should be forced to commit to any process or peace process. This is the solution for the future, and this is the solution for the hate between the Palestinian and the Israeli people.
Thank you so much, Johannes. Can I say something really, really short? Because then I want to ask a final question myself, and then we really need to finish. I was just to add to what you said. You said about like the cycle of hatred, and about the fact that all those children who grew up in refugee camps in such conditions will become fighters. After like the apartheid in South Africa, Mandela did something that in the international relations had never seen, was the first time in a sense, which was to, after apartheid and hatred against the black community, which was also majoritarian in South Africa, there would be no revenge. However, and this is something that keeps being forgotten when it's mentioned, there were the tribunals that they were called of truth and justice, which meant that for all those leaders and actual people, citizens, who had committed acts of hatred, to be forgiven, they had to go to the tribunal to ask for forgiveness and recognize their mistakes. So that is to say that the acknowledgement of the pain that has been inflicted is necessary. Otherwise, those fighters who bear arms to fight, they're not like acting out of revenge as in an evil way. I know you didn't mean that, but they're just responding to responding out of dignity. I'll shut up. So that's it. I just wanted to say this. The very final question to both of you, perhaps like to Gennaro, for when the time you were there, or yourself as how do you like deal with fear generally?
Yes.
Generally, I mean.
Okay, yeah, in Gaza. So, look, allora, I had the fear in Gaza. I have in all the mission that I have, because the fear, in terms of fear, you keep you to stay attention, okay? To stay, let's say, to be careful, to stay attention, to not make a mistake. It's important to avoid the two, let's say, a big stone. Let's say one is a panic. If you are over fear is a panic, you lost the control. And if you say, doesn't matter, nothing happened with me, you underestimate the risk and the threat, you will make a mistake. But I'm not going in Gaza because I don't have fear or I have fear. The matter is completely different. Look, I will do it now, let's say, a question for you. How many people, let's say, today or tomorrow, they will go in Gaza, just entering Gaza to support the people? How many of you? Raise your hands. How many there are? Few people. Why the other not raise the hands? Why? Which is the reason? Why you don't go to Gaza tomorrow? Fear. Fear. Okay, it's dangerous, it's fear. Okay? Let's do an example. Put in Gaza now all your family, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your wife, your whatever, your neighbors, okay? And all these people that is near to you, asking you, look, I'm in Gaza, I'm under the bombing, I'm risking my life, please, can you help me? How many people now, tomorrow, they will go to Gaza? Raise your hand again. Not everybody. So the other, they don't care even if it's fast. It's okay. Doesn't matter. But parenting relationship. It's okay. No, it's okay. I don't want to enter on the... But anyway, the thing is, why now you change? So in 30 seconds, you don't have fear anymore? So which is the reason? Is really the reason of the fear you don't go to Gaza? It's not the fear. It's the connection of these people. If you think these people really care, really matter for you as a human beings, you will change your thinking because we know these people are very far from us. Sometimes for many of the, let's say for the soldiers, are not even humans. So now we need to storm our conscience, because when you storm your conscience, you're inside and you move, you don't stay silent anymore, because the people you care, because they are like a brother, like a sister, is like a human beings. So we need to keep to move the way of the thinking, not because they are other people. We are son of the humanities. This is the way to thinking. Thank you.
Yeah. I cannot add anything else. He have said enough. But I just want to mention that people of Gaza, they love the life. They love to celebrate, to dance. They are falling in love. The children are playing football in the streets. So I have a fear. That fear from the first day I realized that I'm living in an area that suffers a lot of conflict between Palestine and Israel, that suffers a lot of bombing, a lot of killing, a lot of destroying. This fear stayed with us until now. So sometimes when let's say, for example, this cup is falling down and I hear the voice, then I have a reflection. This reflection came with me from Gaza. I'm trying to deal with it. I have enrolled in many mental courses just to learn how to deal with my fear, with my stress, or with everything. But I think it will be hard, and it's not the same when you live in Gaza and you see these people, the children who suffers from the operation without drugs and without painkiller. So I think Gennaro had noticed or witnessed a lot, and he knows more than me because he has lived this war live, and he has witnessed everything that Israel has done and committed in Gaza. Thanks for you, Gennaro. Thanks for you, Enrica, and for the organizers, and for you guys that you have attended this meeting. And I wish that you will continue support Palestine and Gaza. Thanks for everything.
Thank you so much, Osama, for sharing all this.
Thank you.